Are you looking to buy, rent, or sell a haunted property? Then you've come to the right place. But what if walls could talk? What if they whispered stories of tragedies, hauntings, or violent crimes that drove its former owners away? These are stigmatized properties, homes that carry a reputation far beyond their bricks and mortar. From haunted mansions to crime scene condos, stigmatized properties blur the line between superstition, history, and human fear. Would you live in a house where something unspeakable happened? Let's step inside the extremely strange world of real estate's darkest secrets. A stigmatized property refers to real estate that may be considered undesirable due to psychological or non physical factors. These could include events such as a violent crime, a death on the premises, reports of paranormal activity, or association with notorious individuals. Unlike physical defects, stigmas are intangible and often subjective, but they can significantly affect property value and desirability. Stigmatized properties can be categorized based on the nature of their history. Properties associated with crimes, such as murders or drug activities, often attract notoriety. The stigma can persist long after the criminal act. Alleged hauntings or supernatural occurrences can also deter buyers. Some individuals, however, are intrigued by such properties, seeing them as unique or even to some degree charming. A death on the property, especially if sudden or violent, can affect desirability. Cultural beliefs may exacerbate this impact. For instance, some cultures view such properties as cursed. Properties infamous due to media coverage or association with notorious figures may carry a stigma. Like houses with a haunted past, homes owned by celebrities involved in scandals can become undesirable for some and intriguing for others. Homes where domestic disputes or personal tragedies occurred might have a residual stigma, even without media attention. Disclosure requirements for stigmatized properties vary by jurisdiction. In some U.S. states, sellers must inform buyers of deaths, alleged paranormal occurrences, or crimes on the property. Other states adopt a buyer beware approach, requiring prospective buyers to inquire about potential stigmas. The infamous Amityville house in Amityville, New York, is a classic example of a stigmatized property. The house gained notoriety in 1974 after Ronald DeFeo Jr. murdered his entire family there. A year later, the Lutz family purchased the property but fled after 28 days, claiming to have experienced paranormal phenomena. These events inspired books and movies, solidifying the home's place in pop culture and stigmatizing it for decades. In New York, where the Amityville house is located, sellers are not required to disclose events such as murders or claims of hauntings unless directly asked by the buyer. The principle of caveat emptor applies. However, there can be exceptions if a failure to disclose could be seen as misleading. If sellers fail to disclose a property's history of violent crime or notoriety within the legal time frame, buyers may have grounds for legal action. Sellers and agents should also consider voluntarily disclosing stigmas to avoid potential disputes. For example, a buyer who discovers post purchase that a property has a well publicized stigma could claim misrepresentation, especially if the stigma affects the property's value. In 1991, a case in New York, Stambosky versus Eckerly, set a precedent for haunted properties. The court ruled in favor of the buyer, who sued to rescind a contract after discovering the seller had widely publicized the property as haunted, but did not disclose this to the buyer. The ruling emphasized that material facts that affect property value, even if non-physical, must be disclosed if they are widely known and could influence the buyer's decision. In other countries, failure to disclose a stigmatized history could lead to legal disputes. For instance, in Hong Kong, a home's proximity to sites of tragedy can influence its marketability. This is why buyers should research local laws, inquire about a property's history, and even conduct independent investigations if necessary. Potential buyers should hire a home inspector to ensure there are no physical issues, like creaky floors, old pipes, or faulty wiring that might be mistaken for paranormal phenomena. These properties often sell for significantly less than comparable homes. Estimates suggest a discount ranging from 10 to 25%. Real estate agents may face difficulties attracting buyers, necessitating innovative marketing approaches. Insuring a haunted property may present challenges if claims of supernatural activity lead to unusual damages or liability concerns. Some buyers view such properties as investment opportunities. Paranormal enthusiasts, for example, might be willing to pay a premium for a haunted home. If you believe in the paranormal, approach the property with an open mind. Many owners of haunted homes report peaceful coexistence with their supernatural roommates. Properties with a well-known haunted reputation can be monetized. Turning the location into a museum, bed and breakfast, or tourist attraction can be a profitable venture. The stigma associated with the Amityville house has fluctuated its market value. While some buyers see the history as a deterrent, others view it as a selling point, particularly paranormal enthusiasts. This duality underscores the potential financial challenges and opportunities of owning a stigmatized property. Owners of these properties may also face privacy issues due to public fascination. In the case of the Amityville house, tourists and paranormal enthusiasts have been known to trespass, leading to legal concerns about liability and security. This has prompted some owners to make structural changes, such as altering the iconic windows to reduce its recognition. This is why owners should be prepared for potential public attention and take measures to protect their property as well as themselves. Some laws limit disclosure to events occurring within a certain time frame, say within 3 years prior to the possible sale. For events occurring more than 3 years prior, the buyer must proactively ask about the property's history to uncover stigmas. The Los Feliz murder mansion in Los Angeles, California, is a well-known stigmatized property due to a tragic event in the 1950s. On December 6, 1959, Dr. Harold Perelson, a respected cardiologist, brutally murdered his wife with a hammer, attempted to kill one of his children, and then died by his own hand. The home was abandoned soon after and remained uninhabited for decades, fueling rumors of hauntings and creating a long-standing stigma. Its abandonment and eerie state contributed to urban legends and local interest, further stigmatizing the property. Like the Amityville house, the Los Feliz mansion became a target for thrill seekers, trespassers, and ghost hunters, raising security and liability concerns for subsequent owners. Despite being located in a very desirable area, the mansion struggled to sell due to its grim history. When it finally did in 2016, it was at a fraction of what comparable properties in the neighborhood were worth. In California, sellers are legally required to disclose deaths that occurred on a property within the last 3 years. However, the Los Feliz mansion stigma persisted far beyond this period, making it a very gray area for disclosure obligations. In terms of long term recovery, over time the stigma may fade, especially if new positive memories are associated with the property. Some buyers may overcome stigmas due to an emotional connection to the architecture, history, or aesthetic of the property. First, investigate the property's history through public records, news archives, and local sources. High profile properties may attract unwanted attention, requiring buyers to consider security measures and neighborhood dynamics. Engage real estate agents with experience handling stigmatized properties and consider consulting legal professionals. Perhaps you can use the stigma as leverage to negotiate a lower price or favorable terms. You should also speak to neighbors about the property's history and reputation. For buyers concerned about paranormal activity or bad energy, spiritual cleansing ceremonies might offer peace of mind. If you later decide to sell, the haunted stigma could limit your pool of interested buyers. While some see this as a part of the property's appeal, reports of unexplained phenomena could make living in the home unsettling for others. Then there are the psychological factors involved. Buyers often avoid properties they perceive as unsafe or emotionally unsettling. Living in a property with a dark or eerie reputation can affect mental well being, especially for those who are sensitive to their environment or have strong beliefs in the supernatural. Belief in ghosts or bad energy can strongly influence buyer decisions, even among skeptics. The reactions of friends, family, and neighbors to a stigmatized property can also affect a buyer's willingness to proceed. Renovations, rebranding, or changing the property's function, say converting a residence into a commercial space, can help mitigate such problems. You should focus on the property's unique attributes and emphasize its potential for customization or investment. And finally, advertise to niche audiences, such as history buffs or paranormal enthusiasts, who might value the stigma. Stigmatized properties remind us that a house is never just a house. It's a repository of memories, energy, and history. For some, they're a curiosity. For others, a source of fear. But for those who live within their walls, they're simply home. And maybe that's the most haunting truth of all, how easily we adapt to places that once terrified us. So whether you believe in hauntings, feel uneasy about tragedies, or simply see the past as a shadow that lingers, these homes challenge us to confront the uncomfortable truth that some stories refuse to stay silent.